Alright, what's up YouTube? And I'm coming back with this time a sports video, and I'm coming from a Chicago point of view, and I'm asking the question, are the Chicago Bears and Chicago Bulls overdue for a championship? I'm going to take you through what I mean. A lot of teams probably are in the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, but I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and so that's who I'm focusing on in this video. And let's start with the last time the Bears won. This is a Chicago Tribune article. I'm on their website. And the last time the Bears won the Super Bowl was January 1986. That's the last time the Bears won the Super Bowl. They've made it to the Super Bowl since then, but they lost. So 1986, the 85 Bears. Can we agree that they're overdue? Now, on to the Bulls. Last championship they won. And let me scroll through the rest of this. You all will see the first and second ones going up to 1998. So let me scroll. And it's a little trip down memory lane. Here's the last one. 1998. Joyous 6. Repeat the three-peat. The Last Dance. June 1998. It's the last time the Bulls won anything. 1998 was 27 years ago. 1986, 39 years ago for the Chicago Bears. Now, these are the teams who have all won a championship in Chicago, Illinois after 1998. That's what I want to get into, and so we can see how overdue the Bulls and the Bears are. So let's just go down the list of Chicago teams who won after 1998. White Sox, 2005. Chicago White Sox in 88-year drought. And they haven't won since then either. It's 20 years now. But anyway, this is about the Bulls and the Bears. Let's keep going. I remember this. Blackhawks. First Stanley Cup since 1961. 2010 NHL Stanley Cup champions. Sox, that was 2005 World Series champions. Let's keep going. Blackhawks again. 2013 Stanley Cup champions. There we go. Let's keep going. 2015 Stanley Cup champions. It's the Blackhawks again. And that's our hockey. Let's keep going. Back to baseball. The Chicago Cubs in 2016 win the World Series. They had a bigger drought than the White Sox. 108 years compared to White Sox 88 years. Crazy. 2016. I remember that. So we went through hockey and baseball, Sox and Cubs. You see the Blackhawks, 2010, 2013, 2015 Stanley Cup champions. Let's keep going after the Cubs. Our first ever WNBA championship, the Chicago Sky. 2021 WNBA champions. So even the ladies have won since the Bulls and the Bears. Chicago Sky. 2021, 4 years ago. So great for women's sports. You see the articles. And that was basically it. 2021 is the last Chicago championship. So I just wanted to take you all down through that. Bears and Bulls have won nothing since this time period. We don't even have the ladies win in 2021, the Chicago Sky, since the Bulls and Bears have won. And so that's crazy. And what is the problem with the Bulls and the Bears that they can't put together a championship run? Is what I'm going through in this video. Is it that they won't spend enough money? They're not making the right trades? What do you all think it is? I know the McCaskies, they own the Bears. I know they're notorious for not necessarily wanting to spend money. You got the number one pick with Caleb Williamson, but will they surround him with enough for them to get to the Super Bowl? He just finished his rookie season, and now coming up on season two later this year. What are the Bears going to do? The Bulls just traded Lonzo Ball. I don't see them winning the 2026 NBA Finals. Free agency is going on, but the Bulls haven't made any moves. I don't think there's really anybody out there. But the Bulls have had good rosters, probably better than the Bears over the years. Where if you look at people who've left the Bulls, like a Tyson Chandler or Jimmy Butler, people who have gone on to have uh, better success, and had you had all of those pieces there all together at one time, but they just couldn't make it work. So I really don't know what it is. It's not a curse like the Cubs with the Bulls or the Bears. I mean, Jerry Reinsdorf owns the White Sox and the Bulls. And I know Jerry Reinsdorf, he's an owner that doesn't like to spend money either. And just so I'm correct, I want to make sure I got it right. It's the McCaskies who own the Bears. Let me just double check. Yep, I was right. The McCaskies. Yep, that's the Bears. That's the family who owns the Bears. And so I don't know. Do you blame it on the ownership? Do you blame it on the front office that the Bulls and the Bears can't get it together? 1998, 1986. It's the last time. We're going on almost 30 years for the Chicago Bulls. The Bears are about to be over 40 years. And I don't see the Bears winning the Super Bowl in February 2026, just being honest right now. I'm already writing off Bulls and Bears for next season. So you can add that to the drought. But I'm saying is, from my point of view, in my eyes, both teams are overdue. But what must they do? What must ownership do to attract players to want to come here? I mean, the Bears got the number one pick. That's great. You got Caleb Williamson. But what are they going to do to help Caleb out? I don't want Caleb to end up like Justin Fields. Caleb Williams, I was calling him Caleb Williamson. Caleb Williams, I don't want him to end up like Justin Fields and get traded off to Pittsburgh and wherever else because it just doesn't work out. I think he might be a better quarterback than Justin. Some say Justin just didn't have enough tools around him. That could be it. So they ship him out, get the number one pick, Caleb Williams. But what will they do for this quarterback? He's young, born in 2001. But, you know, Chicago, the McCaskies, you got to bring in the pieces. Otherwise, you'll just get the number one pick. He'll play for a few seasons, then get traded. The Bears are back to square one. The Bulls, they just need a lot of pieces. They need shooting, defense, some big men. Lonzo Ball, with that trade, I guess I wasn't too surprised about it. And okay, he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Excited for fresh start with Cavaliers after trade from Bulls. I know he had been having the injuries, his knee, but I think they definitely missed him during the playoffs when he wasn't healthy. Now he's over there with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you got Donovan Mitchell over there, so they can definitely make the playoffs. I was surprised the way the Cavs got put out, but uh, I don't know what the Bulls are going to do. What's their next move? I think Lonzo was a decent point guard before the injury, but now he has to get replaced. I think the Bears need to strengthen up their offense. I think the defensive line is decent, but they definitely need more offense to help Caleb out. Just from what I saw last season, because this drought is ridiculous. It's overdue. The women's team has won a championship in this period since the last time the Bulls and the Bears have won. And it's just embarrassing, I think, for both franchises. that you can't put together a winning roster. You have to spend the money. It's a big market. Yeah, it gets cold in Chicago, but definitely a rich history, and I don't think there's players that would not want to add to it. They just need to know that I'm coming to a winning situation, a winning ball club. As of right now, the Bulls look to be rebuilding to me. I guess you can say the same about the Bears, especially with the Lonzo Ball trade. So now he's in Cleveland now. He'll be over there with Donovan Mitchell, so he can help them out. Add Lonzo to the roster, and he appears to be happy. But when we get back to a celebration at the United Center for the Bulls, when the Soldier Field get that Vince Lombardi trophy again, you know, that's what I'm waiting on to see. I think it's great when you live in that city and certain teams win it all. The Chicago Sky winning it, they WNBA struggles with ratings; they aren't as popular. So that was the last Chicago championship, but it didn't really make a lot of noise. Hockey is more on the lower ladder of sports, so the Blackhawks winning that was cool. But when baseball, football, or basketball win in Chicago, those take the cake, and I think that really brings out more to people. And so, baseball, haven't won anything either since 2016 with the Cubs, but the focus is not that. The longer drought now, they've broken their drought. Now we got a drought with the Bears and the Bulls. What's going on with Chicago basketball and Chicago football? The Bears have hinted at trying to move the team to Arlington Heights. Will new location turn into wins, into victories? Not necessarily. It's not about where you're at. It's the personnel. We got to look at these rosters. Spend some money. Certain people, I don't know, maybe not playing as hard as they could. I can't really judge intent on who's on the roster once people are getting paid. Some people are just there to get paid and could care less about making the playoffs. But we can't have a mental evaluation of those players before they sign a contract. So they look good to get signed, and then they get on there and then just phone it in for whatever reason. And you probably had that on a lot of different teams in a lot of different sports organizations. But something has to be done with Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears. They are overdue for winning a championship, Super Bowl and the NBA championship. I mean, that's just what it is. It's time for it to come full circle. Baseball, hockey, even WNBA. Now it's time for basketball and football. Those are your four major sports right there: basketball, football, hockey, and baseball. And so within the last 27 years, that's where we're at with it. Last championship for Chicago 2021 with Chicago Sky, the women. But I don't know what the Bulls front office, Bears front office is doing or lack thereof. If they just don't want to spend the money. I know how Jerry Reinsdorf, I've heard about him not wanting to spend money. And what do you guys think? What do these teams need, especially if you live in Chicago and you're a fan? What do you think is needed to get the Bulls and the Bears back on track? Traded away Lonzo Ball, okay. Got Caleb Williams, number one pick, okay. And I know the Bears, I know the draft already passed for the NFL back in April. And, the Bears made some selections. But I don't think those will be enough to get them to the Super Bowl. But, what needs to be done for both teams from here on out, as they both just had drafts. The Bulls drafted back last month in June. But what needs to be done, after these drafts, what other pieces are needed that you all think to get these guys over the hump and stop their own drought? Because droughts in Chicago with sports can go very long, as we've seen with the Cubs. And hopefully that's not the case for the Bulls and the Bears. Because I know Chicago fans are tired of waiting. I know people who don't watch the Bulls at all anymore. They haven't watched since 1998. I know some people who haven't watched the Bears since Walter Payton played. And you can call those just casual fans. They was just watching for, the Hall of Famers on those teams. But regardless of that, the teams have not put together any type of winning season. I mean, the Bulls have made the playoffs, and like I said, the Bears made the Super Bowl that one time where they lost. The Bulls have made the playoffs, but they've been bounced. They were in the play-in again this year and still didn't make that eighth seed. I was hoping they did, but they got put out. Let me see exactly the last time the Bears were in the Super Bowl. Bears last, yep, coming right up. Indianapolis Colts, 2007. They lost 29-17. Too much Colts for Chicago. And people were really excited in Chicago February 2007. It's the first Super Bowl since 1986. And the Bears just could not pull it out against the Colts. So that's 18 years ago. About to be 19 years ago in 2026. Because, like I said, the Bears won't be in the Super Bowl come February 2026. I'm calling that now. There's still more work that needs to be done. This was 18 years ago, and still more work to be done for the Bulls. Last time they were in the championship, they did win. They haven't even went back and actually had a chance to try and compete for it. They can't. Either they don't make the playoffs, or if they do, they get put out in the first round. So that's where we're at with it. So especially to all my Chicago natives, my Chicago fans, what do the Bulls and Bears need to do? Who's to blame? What do you think they need? The Bears with their draft back in April earlier this year, and then the Bulls last month in June uh, with their draft picks. What else is needed besides that? I don't think those are going to be enough to get the Bulls and the Bears over the hump. I saw who the Bears did pick in the 2025 draft, but back in April. But that doesn't seal up a Super Bowl. Far from it, actually. They still need more pieces. So I mean, whom they picked back in April of this year, hopefully, that can at least help him be a piece to the puzzle to get the Bears back to Super Bowl glory, and the same for the Bulls and who they picked last month in June. But I wonder why it has taken so long. It's been so many drafts. It's a draft every year. You have Bears trading away players, not selecting certain players. Uh, Same thing with the Bulls, and you just miss out. Is it, like I said, it's the front office, the scouts that are just missing out on the talent that could have helped out, and so they go to another team and help them succeed. I don't. Is that part of it? I really don't know. You know, Draft every April for the NFL, same as this year. Every June for the NBA, but still no championship for the Chicago Bears or the Chicago Bulls. And then, it gets frustrating for the fans. And people just start to tune out. They give up on their teams. I still want to see them win, especially the Bulls, since I played basketball growing up. And so, that's my number one sport. So you like to see the professional team get it. I was happy for the Sky in 2021, but I'm really looking to see, you know, the Bulls finally get championship number 7. And for the Bears, I think they have 7 championships total, because you have Super Bowl, and before it was called the Super Bowl, it was just the NFL championship, and the Bears had some of those. I think they got 7 total. Bulls have 6. Let's get number 8 and number 7 for both teams at least one of these years. I think it'll really be good for the city of Chicago. A good feel good story. It can help bring the city together too. So I don't know. What do you guys think, my Chicago fans? Are the Bulls and the Bears, are they overdue for a championship? What have they done wrong? What is needed to help get these two teams to hold the trophy up in February and in June? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this video out, like the video. Subscribe to the channel, Facts or Feelings. All one word, no spaces. Put that in the YouTube search, Facts or Feelings, no spaces, and my channel comes right up. And send any topics or videos you want me to discuss to my email. It's down in the description as well. Cregier.mj@gmail.com. That's CREGIER.mj@gmail.com. And long live the Bears and the Bulls, I guess. We need that championship. I'm out.